it was in a conversation with Sweet Pea. I have to quote her because it stayed with me, which said, "Don't worry if you disappear for a bit. Rock stars do it all the time."
Oh, I love
Do you know what I mean? They're not always out. Like, they do it all the time. They drop an album and then they piss off for a bit. Like,
Right,
do you know what I mean? So there is that kind of feeling of, actually, it was okay if you weren't on the radar, you know, and I think that's really important. That includes social media as well. I think there's a definite, especially during this time, there was a definite pressure to still be visible online. And a lot of our content, a lot of our craft was having to try and morph its way to being able to fit into your phone. Now, I don't want to be an influencer. I'm a burlesque artist. So, again, I have to quote, that was a low brow quote. Gotta give props where it's due.
No, love it. Love a footnote.
But I don't want to be an influencer. I want to. So there, in terms of an online influencer, by the way.
Yeah.
I had to be honest with myself and be like, okay, I could join TikTok, and I don't think there's anything wrong with joining TikTok, by the way. I very much enjoy watching it, and I could do all these things, or I could take myself away and maybe work on me and branding and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I've chosen. But I think there was a lot of pressure for people to still be visible. But yeah, and I think if it worked for them, great. But the only upside I will say about having to move digitally was the fact that now we can travel through time zones. So the Noire pageant is American, is based in America. And so therefore, you know, I've also been able to teach on the other side of the world via my laptop, which is incredible. So that's been amazing to be able to work with, or again, see people who I would never normally get to see because we're not in the same country.
Yeah, reaching a much bigger audience and getting to work alongside some more fantastic performers.
I'm also just fascinated about what you said before, Demi, with regards to like the competitive element. And I feel like that, especially if you're in any way dealing with visuals or aesthetics as dancers and actors and models and all the rest of it do, if you're anywhere sort of front facing, you're going to have that kind of self-worth soup of like, where do I stop and where is my creativity, and am I inspired by that person or am I threatened, and all those weird kind of thought processes. I mean,
yeah, but I think I feel like, I mean, please, I'm now going to try speaking for you, Demi.
That's all right. Crack on, babe.
I feel like you've got to be a really strong person with a really strong character and have a real sense of your identity as a performer and as a person. And I feel like when I watch a Demi Noire piece, I feel like I see you. And I mean, go finish your question, Rose. But
no, I just wondered how that feels on the inside for you, Demi, and whether that is something that, again, either regardless of lockdown almost, but like how that all fits in with your creativity and craft.
I very much understand my own branding. I understand the art that I like to create and where it comes from. I'm a believer in authenticity, which I think is a great help when it comes to comparing yourselves to others, because I can't be Betsy Bonbon, because Betsy Bonbon already exists. I can only be myself. And I think that takes time to pick up, by the way. That's not an instant thing for any new burlesque performers out there. That actually that's something that I think naturally grows with you. The performer I was at the beginning is certainly not the performer I am 8 years on. I think there is a natural competitiveness in the sense of wanting to be... You compete with yourself a lot, I think, more so than others. I'm always looking up. I always use that reference. I'm always looking up. I'm always believing that there is, in a good way as well. Like, I'm always looking at my friends who own companies or who are travelling the world or are pushing boundaries with their art form or are really paying homage to a certain era. Like, I'm always looking at them in awe and more inspired by them. And I think when you curve that so that I'm not threatened by them, but it's more so... I'm inspired by them being like, how do you do that?